again. Right. Are you still there, Tezza? I deleted that chat, started again because it kept saying trying to reconnect. Now it doesn't say that. And it says I've gone live. So if you're still around, give me another chat, mate. If it don't work out, I'm just going to give it a miss till tonight. It says one now. It said one and then none. One again. So somebody's here. Okay, who we got? Black Pill. Hello, Black Pill. I don't know you. I don't think we ever spoke before. Where are you? And do you metal detect? Got 2 in now. Okay, Black Pill. UK and yes. Okay, super. What part of the UK are you in, mate? Right, somebody else is in now. Who's this? Let's have a look. There's Tezza is back. Right, I have been a busy bee, mate. Just wanted to say hello and hope you're well. I am, thanks. I am, Tez. Whereabouts are you, Tezza? Because you use the word duck, which is only used in Nottingham and maybe Leicester. I'm not sure. They must be from round there somewhere. And Black Pill says we've spoke before. Wales, okay. Yeah, I think was you the guy I was telling Stoke-on-Trent? Yeah, okay. The Potteries. I know it. I know. I can't say I know it well. We've been through it many, many times. And didn't I speak to you, Black Pill, before, telling you that I'd been diving down in Wales, Mumbles, a place called Mumbles, and the Isle of Anglesey, around there. I've scuba dived. Black Pill, yes, sir. Okay, yeah. Then I remember you. I've just got a terrible memory, so you're gonna have to forgive me. I don't know whether I spoke to people or not. Deus Tezza says, God's country, lol. See you soon, buddy. All right, are you off to work? Fancy working Sunday, should be metal detecting, Tez. That's shit. Anyway, well, all the best. I just got back from Croatia yesterday. Went down Croatia with my daughter, and we finalised her diving certificate. So she's now qualified diver. And she's just coming into it, and I'm just going out of it. You're right there. No, we must be terrible people, Tezza, because, like you say, no rest for the wicked. Although I'm going to rest today. I drove back yesterday, 600 kilometres, one stop for a pee, and then back here, straight back here. And I'm just, and then when I got back, no, it was the day before. Sorry, on Saturday yesterday, I got back and I got straight on the roof, working on the roof here. So I've nearly got that done. And today I've decided, screw it, I'm going to have a rest. And I'm feeling it now. Walking Diggers have just put out a new video. So, any of you guys found anything interesting lately? What about you, Black Pill? Are you North Wales, South Wales, or what? Or Central? Because I've seen some good stuff found out there. Oh, yeah, on the border of Shrewsbury, anywhere around there. Cardiff, okay, yeah. There's been some good stuff coming up in Wales from what I've seen on YouTube videos. How many of it? There's still only got 2 in. Mind it's Sunday, everybody's going to be out metal detecting, I suspect. So I didn't expect too many. I just thought we'd go live for a little bit and have a chat with 1 or 2 of the lads, see what's up. But like I say, probably most of them's out metal detecting now. It's just too hot here. It's about 30 here today, so and I've got tons of land that's all been cropped and turned over. I've got tons of new permissions. That's permissions with 2 S's. There's a reason I said that. Some people don't know how to spell permission. I went out, when was it? Just before I went away, on a brand new field. Never been on it before. And I always suspected that there was going to be some good stuff on it because it's right next to a main road. And normally you don't get the night hawkers, not next to a road. They won't go because they can be easily spotted with the headlights and stuff. So I just figured that this place was going to be good and that nobody's touched it. And it weren't that good. I was surprised at how little signals there were. I really got a bunch of crap. But I did 2 locations. They're quite close to each other. And on the one location that I've done before, I found a single Roman coin. As soon as I got on it, did about 3 swings. I got a little tiny Roman coin with a little bit of detail on it. I didn't have my camera with me, so I didn't film it. Now, I'll tell you a little secret what I do sometimes. If I go out and I forget my camera or something like that and I find anything good, I just put it away and I put it on a shelf. And the next time I go out, I just put it in the ground and I make out that I found it again. I have actually found it. I know it's cheating a little bit, but I've actually found it but didn't film it. So for the purposes of filming it, I just find it again, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so I found this Roman coin and I decided to go on this new permission. And I noticed that it had been cropped and turned over. So I went on it. I only had an hour on it. And I found bits and pieces, nothing much. And then I found this very, very thin coin and I got home and it was 17th century silver hammered when I cleaned it up. So I'm quite pleased about that. But I'm used to finding more stuff than that in one go. Okay, we've got 4 in, so I'm assuming there's 1 or 2 others here. Dank Dog, how's it going, mate? I'm all right, brother. And where are you, Dank Dog? Is it Dank Dog? Yeah, it is. Where are you? Just tell me your location. Kenny Sampson's here. Kenny, sorry I missed your message when Andy was live this morning. I just said hello and I weren't looking at the comments. So I know you'll forgive me because I know you love me. So Dank Dog's from the UK. Which part, brother? So we've got 4 people in, or 3 people in now, all from the UK. It's a bit too early for the States. Maybe it's 20 past 12. So on the East Coast, it's 20 past 6. I think we're 6 hours in front. So it's a bit too early for the US. I should have left it a bit later. Maybe I'll just make this quick and maybe I'll come on later, like 5 or 6 o'clock or something. Dank Dog is in Warwickshire. Birmingham. Thanks, Kenny. It's okay, bro, Kenny says. Birmingham's in Warwickshire, isn't it? And so is Warwick, obviously. So, do you find any good stuff out there, Dank Dog? And have we chatted before? I don't think we have. I don't recognise the name. But there must be some good stuff out there in Warwickshire. Of course, you all know I'm in Austria, don't you? Beautiful weather here today. It's just too hot to metal detect. I'm not doing it. I want to finish the roof tomorrow as well. Although I've made a video about that, and I'll complete it tomorrow. All right. Anybody? So only 2 in there. Okay. He's in Warwickshire. He would love to go looking around Warwick Castle. I bet they've got some gems. You're not kidding. They're the places to be, brother, but I think they're outlawed, aren't they? Because for sure you'd find stuff. For sure. Because you got to imagine these old castles, if there's battles around them, what they do with the bodies after. There must be somewhere nearby buried. I can tell you about one battle site. It was the biggest battle ever fought on British soil, and that's at Marston Moor. It's around York way. Now, where is it? It's somewhere Wetherby, between Wetherby and York, I think it is. I've been to the battle site a few times. And there was quite a few thousand killed. This is a English Civil War, and the Roundheads won. And there was one particular group on the King's side. They called them the Lambs because they were dressed in white woolly clothing, so they called them Lambs. And they never gave up and said they would die to a man, and they did. They all got slaughtered. They're buried around there. Nobody's ever found the burial site. Hundreds and hundreds of them. Nobody's ever found the burial site of these guys. That'd be interesting. But I would imagine that they stripped most of the bodies anyway, clothing and everything. I'm not sure whether they'd leave any personal possessions like rings and stuff. I did go on that battle site one time, and guess what? I found a love token. I didn't know what it was at the time. I'm talking 25, 30 years ago. And it was meant like a love token, and it was silver. So it was like a silver hammer that had been, but it was smooth as a baby's bum, both sides. And I asked somebody what it was, and he said it was a penny, a silver penny, but there were no markings on it. And I said, "What do you think the chances are that it's come from the battle site of Marston Moor?" And he says, "Oh, I doubt it." And I can't figure out for the life of me why this archaeologist said that. Because if you find it on the battle site, and then surely, and it's a 17th century silver penny, then I would think that the chances are very good that it's from the Civil War. Anyway, so we've got Dank Dog saying during the first English Civil War, right? Yeah. What you mean, Marston Moor? Yeah. It sounds like you know a bit about it because you said the first English Civil War, and you do know there was 2, possibly 3 even. So you probably know a little bit about it, the English Civil War, and that's why my name, YouTube name, is Cromwell, actually, because I'm into that big time. We've got 3 in again. Are you still there, Kenny, or have you gone? It might be worth checking. I think did you say you're in Warwickshire, Dank Dog? Well, there was loads of battles there. The first battle of English Civil War was in Warwickshire. It was at Edge Hill, which I believe is in Warwickshire, but it's somewhere around Birmingham way anyway. So Edge Hill was the first battle, which was classed as a draw. Might have to pop over there sometime. Yeah, you might do. 10 minutes from the castle. Yeah, okay. So check out Edge Hill. Spelled E. I'll write it. E-G-E. So that's it. But check out the Battle of Edge Hill. That was the first battle of the English Civil War. I won't say the battle, but the proclamation of war between Parliament and the King was in Nottingham, where I'm from, right next to the castle, on the 22nd of August 1642. Charles I raised his standard at Nottingham Castle, and that indicated that he was at war with Parliament, and that was the rallying point for Charles I. And then from there, that's when Edgehill started, the Battle of Edgehill. So that'd be an interesting place. But I would imagine that all these sites are forbidden. I'm not sure, but I would love to do that. I was not far from there, not long ago. I went over earlier this year with Rich Biss, if anybody knows Rich Biss. And we were somewhere near Edgehill, and I asked him to take me, and he never did, because I've never been on that battle site. I passed by it, but never stopped and had a look at it. I'd like to have done that. 4. We've got 4 in there. Who else is there? Right, who's the new guy in the house? Who's the new guy? Come on. It's 4. Go on it, go on, Michael. How you doing, brother? All right. And I can't remember where you are. Are you in Canada? Are you in Canada? I can't remember where you are. Tell me where you are. Yes, that's it. Ontario. That's it. You know, I used to live there, don't you? I'm not sure which part of Ontario you're in, and I know it's a big state. So, but I was in Hamilton on the Great Lakes. I lived there for a while. So you know all places like Scarborough, as you call it. We call it Scarborough, but you call it Scarborough. London, and there's a load of names out there named after English places or British places. But I'm sure we've had this conversation before. Steel City, they call Hamilton. Would also love to go looking around some American Civil War sites that I imagine it's all been built on and dug up by now. No. Far from it. Lots of places. There's a place there where Garnet Carmichael, you should talk with him if you ever go over there. There was a big battle over there. I think it was called, this is before the American Civil War, though. The Battle of, it's in the back of my mind. It's where the Americans crossed and the Canadians give them a good hiding and sent them packing. Tell me, Eastern Ontario, here, I know where Scarborough is, yeah, Garnet Con. The War of 1812, I'm not sure if that was it or not, maybe. I'm trying to think of the name of this place. But I remember I went by and there was a big monument, and every time I see a monument, I'm curious. And I asked this guy, I says, look, can you stop there? Can we go and have a look at that monument? And it was like there was a force of 600 British and Canadian troops that beat an American army of about 3,000 or 4,000. And it was called, oh, God, it's killing me. I just found it amazing and interesting. I just thought I could have a go at the Americans for it if they ever throwing out, when they're throwing out us sometimes, about us getting beat in 1776. And I just thought this would be a useful bit of information to have so I can give them some crap back. And it'll come to me. I'm going to carry on anyway. It'll come to me. Right, so of course what we had, the War of 1812, maybe it was I'm pretty sure it was, because I know there was some sea battles on the lakes too, and I know that there's some ships that so nothing eats away. And I was diving at the time, and these guys wanted me to go with them, but I never made it. But you can't. All you can do is look around these wrecks. You can't even touch them. They are in good condition from the War of 1812. There were several battles. It'll come to me in a minute. Was it Niagara on the Lake? Something. The Battle of Niagara on the Lake. Something like that. It was something like that. Chrysler Farm. No, it weren't that. Yeah, I think it was the Battle of Niagara on the Lake. Or was it? I'll find it anyway, and I'll get back to you. Mr. Carmichael. What's your first name? That time I knew your first name. Been speaking to you long enough. I'm sure it was Battle of Niagara on the Lake, where a small Canadian force, only 600. Really? That's your first name? Garnet. Okay. Okay. Well, then I can't mistake that, can I? You know, my computer, right? If I try to look up this thing, I will lose this because the connection's crap. So can somebody have a look on their computer? Just put in Battle of Niagara on the Lake, and it will tell you a small force of about 600. I just found it fascinating. It was great to read that. And I found, what was it I found recently? Around 1930s, America had a plan to invade Britain and Canada. And they built a huge, massive army base, more or less on the border, and they were spying on Canada, and the Canadians were spying on them. But the Americans had drawn up a battle plan. It's on YouTube. It's fantastic, really, and I love anything like this. And America was considering, and they weighed up the pros and cons. If and America figured they would win the land battle in Canada. But at the time, our navy was so big that when they're drawn up their battle, and so that's why they never attacked, because the British Navy could have done a lot of embargo stuff and stopping their supplies from getting in and stuff. So that's why it never took place. Quite fascinating, really. So Charlie Beasley, the Battle of Fort George. I don't recall that being the name, Charlie. I thought it was Niagara on the Lake. I know, I'm sure that's a place too, but I thought that's where the battle was, Niagara on the Lake. Tennessee Adventures, good morning. How you doing, brother? Dropping by to give your video a like and say, how you doing? We were just talking about the States. I don't know if you heard what I said. I was just watching a fascinating video a couple of months back where the States was going to invade Britain, or British territory in around about 1934, 1936, before the Second World War started. And they drew the conclusion that you would win the land battle, but Britain would win the sea battle because our navy was still the biggest navy in the world at that time. So that's why the battle never happened. I'll see if I can find it. It was just, I was fascinated. I was fascinated by it. It's really good to find out this stuff. General Brock led the battle. I'm not sure. I think it rings a bell, that name Brock. Charlie Beasley. There was a battle in 1812 called the Battle of Fort George in Niagara on the Lake. I bet that's it then. So I think that might be it. I think, Charlie, you're probably right then. If that was in Niagara on the Lake. Yeah, I think so too. Garnet said. Oh, we've only got 3 in now. How's Tennessee adventures? Have you been finding stuff, brother? There was some action down there, weren't there, in Tennessee? I'm sure there was. I'm talking about your Civil War, by the way. Tennessee adventures. I'm sure there would have been some action down there. But yeah, all these sites would be good to visit. It's just amazing, all these stories, what they can tell. Here, for example, there was some battles around here during Roman times, and I've yet to do some research. And just over that way, let me put my finger over that way behind the screen here, there's a place called Carnuntum. I'm going to spell that. Just check that out. Carnuntum. If you put this in, Carnuntum, Austria, then you can't go wrong. So if there's 2 Carnuntums, that will come up. You'll get the right one up. Carnuntum, Austria. 60,000 Romans here, 2,000 years ago, roughly about 2,000. I think they came around 76 AD or 50 something AD. Not exactly sure. They didn't stay long. There was some uprising in Croatia or down that way where I've just come back from, and they up and marched the army down to Croatia. Well, it took me 10 hours in a car. So how long would it take them walking? Because there weren't no trains or anything like that then. They had to up the army and walk down to Croatia. Weeks and weeks it would take them. And then they came back again. I don't know, maybe 30, 40 years later. They come back and they started building a city. And there was 60,000 of them. 60,000. And they was there for 400 years. So they lost a lot of stuff. This place is just heaped or steeped with history around here. Steeped with it. So, how am I getting on with the knots? All right. I've had it a few weeks. I went out with it. I couldn't get along with it very well. But let me tell you, somebody helped me to set it up, a guy named Dave Taylor. He's a good lad. He's helped me out a lot. When I first got into metal detecting a few years ago, he gave me a lot of encouragement, and now I know what I'm doing with these machines, and I'm finding good stuff. If you guys watch my video, I don't find good stuff every time, but compared to a lot of people, I find huge amounts of stuff, Roman stuff, silver hammers, God knows how many silver hammers, artifacts, rings, Roman rings, even a Roman piece of a trumpet, Roman brooches, all sorts of stuff Roman. And I just get connected. When I find it, I just feel a connection with that person who lost it. The only problem is I can never know who that person was, whether it was a male, female, what reaction they had when they lost the piece. But it's just exciting because you're the next person along after he dropped it or she dropped it. So there's a connection there, and that excites me. If only the pieces could speak. Let me see where else. So anyway, coming back to the knocks. Hello, Denmark. How are you? So coming back to knocks. So I got it set up and I went on the field. No, I went in the garden here, and I took a Roman ring, I took a Roman coin, a sesterce. That's about that big. A small Roman, a Roman silver, a Roman ring, a Roman brooch, and a silver hammered. And I was checking the numbers on them, and they're really different to the AT Pro. I mean, when you get a 90 signal on the AT Pro, you know you've got a big coin or something, or anything above 78 75 can be a Roman silver, for example. And you get to know these numbers. I didn't know any numbers on this thing, so I went and tried it in the garden, and I was getting all low numbers like 11s and 20 and 18s and stuff like that. And I just thought, I hope I can remember all this. So I went out and I gave it a shot, and I was getting all these signals, all these numbers, but it was crap every time. It was crap. It was silver paper. It was bottle tops, and it was crap. And I did one run up and one run down. Just moved over a yard or so, and come back down. And I by the time I got to the end of it, and they're quite long, these fields. By the time I got to the end of it, I just got a bag full of crap, no coins, nothing, and I was really, really disappointed. Because at the same time, it was psychological, really, because at the same time I was thinking, what have I missed? Because I know the AT Pro like the back of my hand. In fact, a few months ago, I just started working with a new program. What somebody named Pete Cressy7 is back, his YouTube channel. You were telling me to try it on this program, and it's not done me wrong. It's been finding stuff I wouldn't normally find, and I was very impressed with it. And I got to know this program, so I was thinking, what have I missed? So I figured the next day I'd go back with the AT Pro. Anyway, so the next day come, and David Sunrise Solara came down, and he's got AT Pro as well. So I took my AT Pro and I took the Knox. David took out his AT Pro, and I says, David, can you do me a favour? I did that run and I did the next run down, and thanks. And I said, can you go up there with your AT Pro? Just try them 2 runs. I said, I'm not trying to brush you off with shitty ground. I said, when you've done that, you can go over that side if you want, where I've never done. So then you'll stand a good chance of finding something, and that will make up for the 2 shitty rows that you've done. So he started going up. He'd only done 20, 25 meters, and his machine started playing up, going crazy. It was going crazy. Well, he's had this problem before, and he sent it away, and they sent it back saying there's nothing wrong with it. And I've had this problem on another field up there. Mine were going crazy, my AT Pro. But then you sort of like switch it off, put it away, and it's okay. Next time you come out, it's crazy. Don't know what it is. But tried factory reset and everything, and still did it. So anyway, I took my AT Pro out, so the Knox stayed in the car. So then David got this problem, and I says, look, David, if you want, you can try the Knox. I said, I just want to. Maybe I was scared of it. I'll be honest with you. I was scared of it because I was scared that I might miss something. It wasn't the machine that was scaring me. It was the thought of missing good stuff, because I've had good stuff on that field, really good stuff. So anyway, David did the first row with the Knox, and then he moved over sort of like to the middle then, and he come down, and he done a couple of 3 rows, and he found 3 Roman coins with it, and I was impressed then. And he says, I'll tell you what I've noticed about it. He says, it's so quiet, this machine. And I said, well, how do you mean quiet? He says, you mean there's a lack of stuff in the ground? He says, no. He says, I think all the crap's being cut out, and it's quiet, and it's not chattering like the AT Pro's always chattering, picking something up, some piece of steel, and just giving you a chatter. And so that's what he said. So and then last time I spoke to David, he said he was pretty much impressed with that with the Knox. Now since that time, I've been away, so I haven't had a chance to use it. I've been back a couple of days, but yesterday I was working on the roof here, and I want to get this job done because it's a bit difficult to explain. But I didn't put the last tile on the roof because I put new fascia boards up and I've had to cut the end of the spars. I've made a video about that, by the way. And I put a new fascia board on, and I've got to put guttering on because the water's running over and it's running down the path and it's flooding the barbecue area directly underneath where I'm sitting now. So anyway, I've not had chance to take it out. But I'm going to get this job done, and I am going to go on these new permissions I've got, and I'm going to give it a shot and see what I come up with. So that's what David said about it. So there's 5 in now. So who's come in? And so now I've finished gabbing. Let's see who's come in. Relic Hunt in Denmark. I got a Knox myself, and boy, oh boy, it really finds good stuff. Really, deep down, that's what somebody else told me that. Charlie Beasley. I wonder if it would be worth searching around the Great Pyramids. I think you'd find yourself in jail. Brendan Tickner. Hello, Cromwell. Nice to see you again. From Brenda in Worthing. How are you doing, Brenda? Are you all right? Yeah, I do remember you. Worthing, that's in Sussex, I believe. Charlie Beasley's have a great day, CT. Does that mean he's in Connecticut, CT, or I'm not sure. Have a great day, brothers across the pond. CT Relic, yeah. Connecticut, that's above New York. Been there. I'm sorry I didn't spend a bit more time. Are you still here? Or have you gone, CT Relic Digger? Sorry, I was busy gabbing. Relic Hunting Denmark. Okay, so Brenda. Yeah, Worthing, Sussex. West Sussex. Beautiful down there. Beautiful. There's some stuff down there. Do you go yourself, Brenda? I used to go diving down there, Sussex. For scallops. Millions of scallops. And I remember there's one place where the military use it as a firing range out to sea. And just everywhere you go, there's like bombs and shells sticking out the sand on the bottom, about 20 meters down. And some of them are brand new, still got the markings on, the writing on, not scratched. So they've been fired recently. But apparently, when they do use it as a range, everyone gets to know about it, and you can't dive there. But I remember that, rather good. Great for scallops. We've got tons and tons of scallops out there. Brenda, yes, I do go metal detecting and I find good stuff. Have you got a YouTube channel, Brenda? Is it just Brenda Tickner? Waiting for an answer. It'll come in a minute. So what about Denmark? Any good stuff out there? Must be. Vikings come from that way on, don't they? I've been through Denmark, never stopped there. I drove to Lysekil, as they say, in Sweden, from here, Vienna. And I drove up through Denmark, caught a ferry to, is it Malmo? I'm not sure. I can't remember now, a long time ago. I've been on 39 minutes. You know what I'm going to do, fellas? Should have come on later on. It's still too early. There's never been more than 5 in. And it's like 5 to 1 in bit. So maybe I should come on 7 o'clock tonight or something like that. When there's a few more people on. Can have a good chat then. Right, Charlie Beasley's wrote, yeah. Pop on later tonight, mate. All right. Yeah, because I'm figuring everybody, well, they're not up in America yet. Maybe 1 or 2 are. it's quite early. Just on the east coast, it's early. So on the west coast, it'll be like middle of the night. So I'll do that. What time will it be? It'll be 7 o'clock. Just come 7 o'clock on the east coast. And most people in the UK is probably out metal detecting. So there won't be anybody on. So if I say 7 or 8 o'clock, I might do that. See how I feel. So I'll call it a day. Thanks for calling in, guys, and asking how I am. Thanks to everybody. Garnet Carmichael, Relic Hunting Denmark, Charlie Beasley, Brenda, and anybody else that's on. So all right, no problem, Garnet. You take care, mate, and let me know if you ever get this way. All right, so I'm gonna go. There's only 3 in there, and I'll try to come on later on, 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. I'll see. So hopefully, maybe see you then. All right, take care, everybody. Thanks for coming. All the best. Bye bye. 6 total watch time, 2 hours.